Hello! My name is Secondwind814, and I just got back from seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. So, did I like this movie? Yes, I liked it, despite the fact that it has some obvious flaws, but I did. So, basically, in this movie, Shredder gets broken out of jail while being transported to a maximum security prison. But his basically he gets broken out of the truck on the convoy, or as well as two other criminals, Bebop and Rocksteady, and then he gets accidentally sent to another Dimension X, where he meets Krang, who promises to help Shredder rule the world if Shredder can find the three pieces of the portal device that will help open a rift between his dimension and Earth. So, Earth to bring in the Technodrome. So, oh yeah. Basically, and basically, this movie, essentially this movie. Now, basically, there are other points of the plot in this movie, but let's get to that. First, one of the major things of this movie, I should say, one of the major angles of this movie, I think, is basically, I guess what you could call family issues. Basically, the turtles have family issues, I guess, and the fact that they just don't know how to work as a team. Basically, what happens is obviously is big. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Basically, when Shredder goes to Dimension X, Krang gives him a crystal. And Shredder is working with scientist Baxter Stockman, and so basically, he Baxter Stockman and uses the crystal to create a purple ooze, which eventually creates Bebop and Rocksteady, Eddie, yeah, in their mutant forms, and basically he turns them into the Rhino and the Warthog. So yeah, basically, once the turtles get a hold of it, and Donatello, who is basically analyzing it, he discovers that there's a possibility that it may make them human, which is one of the other one of the plot points in this movie is that some of the turtles, specifically Michelangelo, and Raphael, they want to become human so they can stand it, so that so they can blend in with the rest of New York. Because obviously, right now they're gigantic turtles who they basically they are kind of basically monsters. And so yeah, basically, Donnie he discovers that it has a potential to turn mutants into humans, and discusses it with Leonardo. But Leonardo tells him not to tell the other guys. Well, Michelangelo overhears it, and basically Michelangelo tells Raphael. Well, and basically they get the turtles get into somewhat of an argument over it, and this leads to a scene where I should say, basically what happens is there's a break is after Shredder as Bebop and Rocksteady, they break into a museum to steal a second part. Well, actually, he breaks in with them to steal the second part of the teleportation device, because he needs all three to open pieces to open the in the excuse me. He needs to open the rift that will allow Krang to come through. So basically, he comes through. Basically, they break it. What happens is Leonardo, who decides to go to the museum with just him and Donatello, well, benching Raphael and Michelangelo, but they decide they're going to break into the police station and steal some of the ooze. Basically, ooze. Because basically what happens is April O'Neil actually witnesses the transformations of Bebop and Rocksteady. He into their mutant forms because she forms, and then but then he loses it while she's being chased by the Foot Clan, and basically he ends up in police hands. So basically, Raphael and Michelangelo devise a plan to break into police headquarters, steal the ooze. But when they get there, the Foot Clan is already there, and the Foot Clan has the ooze. So, basically, what happens is they get into a sequence. The turtles reveal themselves, but Casey Jones and April O'Neil take the fall. Yes, Casey Jones, who, by the way, in this one is actually I guess you could say, a suspended officer, suspended because he lost Shredder or Eder. So yeah, and I know I'm jumping around the plot here, but trust me, it's not that big a deal. So anyways, the turtles get revealed. April and Casey take the fall. The turtles go back to their hideout. Then they track Bebop and Rocksteady to Brazil, where they're on a plane. Meanwhile, they go on a plane there, but Bebop and Rocksteady are there, so they go on air and heading back to New York on a plane. So they jump plane. The turtles jump planes because they hit out on a cargo plane to Brazil. They jump planes. Haynes and that's where they meet Bebop and Rocksteady, who basically end up bringing down the plane. And then there's a long sequence in a river where they lose the third piece. Yes, so yeah. That's how. Basically, they open the portal, and essentially what happens is they portal. But before that, basically, there's evidence found that excuse me. There's evidence found to show that Casey and April O'Neil are innocent, and then the portal opens, and then the turtles come out, and they open out the sewers, and they collaborate with the police. He used to get them in. He used to get them to the Technodrome home to shut it down, because the Technodrome is basically coming into New York now. And basically they go in excuse me. Basically they go. Oh, sorry, my train of thought is derailing. Basically, they go in and they fight with Krang. They stop him, and they send him back to Dimension X. So yeah, X, and then they're awarded with keys to city as heroes. And that's basically the plot of this movie. And if it sounds like I jumped around a lot, I didn't. And if it sounds like some of this stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense, it doesn't. Because basically, one of the things that's kind of a problem in this movie is that not much is really explained. hey, what, or I shouldn't say not much to explain, but basically, there's a lot of movies and scenes in this movie that just kind of make you, things look stupid. It, it like, stupid, and as I already said, there's the family issue between the brothers. But another issue, but the problem is I guess you could say there's a lot of stereotypes in this movie, like how when Casey Jones loses the loses the loses the loses Shredder, a federal agent comes in and basically, well, I mean, granted, this is more of a stereotype, a plot stereotype action rather than a character. But basically, he gets benched and for losing Shredder, and basically nobody believes his story, or that he heard about how the Turtles came, the Foot Clan came in, and how the Foot Clan came in, and took Shredder, and then how the Turtles came in, and basically nobody believes him, and he gets basically benched, and that's when he becomes Casey, decides to become Casey. There's that. Basically, that's when he decides to become the hockey playing vigilante. So, oh yeah, if I have to mention one thing, it's that the federal agent, like I said, there are stereotypes, or I should say, a kind of, I guess we should say, predictable actions, like when Shredder and Baxter Stockman complete the portal device. Shredder betrays Baxter Stockman because Baxter Stockman was just kind of a pawn in his plan. Kind of typical there. And then basically Krang betrays Shredder. Header, which, yeah, kind of weird there. Or kind of predictable there. And so a lot of excuse me. And so yeah, that's pretty predictable. So there are also some things in this movie that just don't really make sense. For example, basically there's this character called the Falcon, and basically he's basically taken all the credit for saving the city the first time. And basically when April O'Neil and Casey Jones are in custody after the police headquarters bout. Basically, what happens is somehow Casey Jones is able to pickpocket the agent's cell phone. Yeah. April O'Neil calls him. Calls the Falcon. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, the actual character's name. And he goes to Shredder, Baxter Stockman's laboratory to find the footage because footage that will clear April's name, because Baxter Stockman basically sent and the federal agent altered camera footage and all that. So he goes to this laboratory. He basically goes to the building. Basically walks right into the laboratory, and there's this one guard there who sees him and says that and basically fan. So, it's, I guess what you could say, fanboying over him. But then, and Falcon basically disarmed by saying, "Yeah, go down and get me a mocha." I was like, really? And of course, then he's looking around for a hidden camera, which is in the clock. And he basically gets the clock down and basically starts tearing the clock out of the wall. only to have it end up literally back where it was started at this box. That's this camera house that has the camera for. It's the secret camera in it, and he takes this little USB thing, drive out of it, and it's like. But the thing about it is, it's just so kind of. I admit I found that part funny, but also, well, when you think about it, it's just really stupid. Because basically, yeah, he found the clock, but why would you go through the trouble of pulling a wire out of the wall, all the way around the laboratory, only to wind up right back where you were, and there's this box there, and then you don't here, and basically you could have just opened that box the entire time, like you didn't see that. Also, it begs the question of why there is nobody in the lab except a single guard, and how this guy is able to disarm this guard so quickly or so easily. Baxter Stockman needed to hire some better security personnel. I also have to mention that as far as the fighting in this movie goes, it's not exactly that great. Hey, I'm sorry. There's not that much fighting in this movie. A lot of it feels very comical. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but not necessarily a good thing either. Because a lot of it, like when they're fighting, like when the turtles and the Bebop and Rocksteady are fighting for the third piece of the teleportation device in the river, or it's this whole thing. It's kind of this whole old cartoony thing of I got it, I don't got it type deal, where they're constantly, where the thing constantly changes hands, but eventually the bad guy gets away. The guys get away with it. It's basically because, as I guess they needed to demonstrate how the turtles are not a team. And basically, and I have to say that the final fight with Krang is very underwhelming. It's like, I have to say, I'm sorry, but it just was. It's not very interesting. It's the final fight is basically the Krang in his mecha suit, throwing people and the turtles around a bit, and then Donnie is basically trying to reverse the Technodrome, or basically locate the Technodrome probe. So yeah, that's basic. It's not, the final fight isn't very interesting, as well as a lot of the other fighting in this movie, and that's I think what hurt it. Is because I mean, granted, there are the jokes and the turtles are funny, but I mean, it wasn't. I only really laughed. I actually laughed a couple of times in this movie. Mainly, I just kind of chuckled. Now I will admit that I'm not the biggest fan of the turtle and of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yes, I was into them when I was young, but as the things have grown up, I've fallen away from them. So maybe this movie will impress hardcore turtle fanboys, but I just really don't see it. But for me, at least, it just didn't work. It didn't make me as satisfied as I thought I would be. I guess you could say it left a lot to be desired. So yeah, that's one thing I thought was kind of that hurt it, hurt it a lot. And now, also one other thing that I think really kind of hurt it is the fact that Bebop and Rocksteady are in it all that much. I mean, yeah, they have some good scenes in there, but a lot of times but they're not really in there in many scenes. And I know, and I know that the purpose of this movie was to show all the turtles was coming out of the shadows, out of the sewers, and into react and basically into more of the public eye. But I definitely think Bebop and Rocksteady could have been and you use a lot more. We'll have to see what the third movie delivers. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering who Rocksteady is if you is the credits may show him, but basically what he is WWE professional wrestler or or, Steve, or Sheamus. Yes. They can't. Yes, if any of you did, I mean, personally, I liked his character, but if any of you found his character maybe dull, I'm not saying he's not a good actor. I'm just saying that saying I mean that that's who he is. And people may hate me for saying that and may say that I'm singling him out. I'm not trying to single him out. I'm just saying that for any of you who may be confused as to who he actually was. So yeah, ah, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Final rating? 6 out of 10. And entertaining because of the turtles, but leaves a lot to be desired. Would I recommend it? Yes. I'd say go see it. It basically just for us for the sake of seeing the turtles. So yeah, there we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the shadows. 6 out of 10. Go see it just for the turtles. And well, that about wraps it up for this video. My name is SecondWind814. Thank you so much for watching. May the wind always be at your back. See ya!